Well, good evening and welcome to another episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, David Guerrero, joined by our forecaster, Dennis Khrulov. Now, Dennis, it seems like we're finally out of that snow drought as we saw those few inches of snow impact us this past week. Should this trend continue?
So it is good to see us getting out of the snow drought after the warmer weather we've been having this month. However, I don't see any more significant accumulations to end the weekend and head into next week. However, we will be transitioning more into a winter-like pattern opposed to the spring-like temperatures we've been having recently.
Well, thank you for that preview. Now, coming up next, we'll have Nature in the News. Now, Dennis, I heard you had some pretty interesting stories regarding Nature in the News. What are those stories?
So yes, I have two stories lined up on this evening's show. One talking about the rare severe weather event that impacted portions of the Ohio Valley. And my second story will be talking about the iceberg that broke off portions of Antarctica, which was pretty big. So David, what do you have to add with your stories?
So my first story commemorates the 19th anniversary of the Mars rover opportunity. Then my second story regards the falling iguanas phenomenon in Florida, which has to do with cold weather there. So more on that with Nature in the News.
On the morning of Thursday, January 19th, residents across Ohio woke up to a very unusual weather outlook, an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms. According to the Storm Prediction Center, an enhanced risk is a level 3 out of 5 on severe weather risk scale, which indicates the potential for scattered to numerous severe thunderstorms. This was the first time ever it was issued this far north for the month of January, ever since the enhanced risk was implemented in 2014 by the Storm Prediction Center. As expected, strong to severe thunderstorms fired across western Ohio during the afternoon and evening hours. These storms tracked west to east through the state, bringing strong winds and heavy downpours. After the passage of the storms, there were a number of wind damage reports, primarily over northern Ohio. The reports included measurements of high wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour and damage to downed trees and power lines. Due to the high winds, around 15,000 residents lost power across the state of Ohio. These storms continued to track into western PA, where a wind gust of 59 miles per hour was recorded by a weather stem station in Pittsburgh. As the line of storms moved into western PA, there was an observed uptick of widespread lightning in the area, which is a very rare sight for the climatological coldest and snowiest part of the year.
As we reach the middle of winter, the unusual Florida tradition of falling iguanas will become more common. Falling iguanas in Florida are closely related to the weather, specifically cold weather. Since iguanas are cold-blooded reptiles, their body temperatures are regulated by the environment. When temperatures drop below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, iguanas become sluggish and may fall from trees and other elevated structures. This is because their muscles and nerves are not functioning properly due to the cold, causing them to lose their grip and fall. In Florida, falling iguanas are mostly seen during these cold snaps, which are brief periods of cold weather that occur during the winter months. During these events, temperatures can drop low enough to cause iguanas to fall from trees and become immobile on the ground. While falling iguanas may be a curiosity for some, it is important to remember that these animals are not dead when they fall. They are simply in a state of hibernation and will become active once temperatures rise. The population of iguanas in Florida has been growing in recent years, and their numbers are expected to increase with climate change. As the climate continues to warm, cold snaps are becoming less common, which means falling iguanas may become less of a regular occurrence.
Taking the news down to the Arctic depths of Antarctica, just recently a pretty large iceberg has broken off into the Southern Ocean. Based on the Monday, January 23rd report from the British Antarctic Survey, it was recorded that an iceberg of roughly 1,500 square kilometers, or comparatively to the size of 2 New York cities or even Greater London, broke off into the ocean. This 150-meter iceberg was a part of the Brunt ice shelf located in Antarctica. Scientists have been recently monitoring this ice shelf for potential calving, which means it has been showing signs of breaking off in recent times. Unlike the recent breakoffs across Antarctica, which have been related to warmer conditions and higher humidity, scientists believe this event has been naturally expected of the Brunt ice shelf. The last time calving of this magnitude had occurred in the Brunt ice shelf was back in February of 2021, which was comparatively smaller to this recent breakoff. Since then, it has been swept away into the Weddell Sea. The newest iceberg is expected to take the same path through the same sea, and it will receive an official name in the near future from the U.S. National Ice Center.
Tuesday will officially mark the 19th year anniversary of the historic NASA Opportunity landings. The NASA Opportunity landings, also known as the Mars Exploration Rover mission, was a robotic space mission that landed two rovers, Opportunity and Spirit, on the surface of Mars in January 2004. The mission was designed to search for evidence of past water activity on Mars and to investigate the planet's geology and atmosphere. Opportunity landed on January 25, 2004, while Spirit landed on January 4, 2004. Both rovers were equipped with a variety of scientific instruments, including cameras, spectrometers, and drills to study Martian surface and geology. The mission was originally planned to last for about 92 Earth days, but both rovers exceeded their expected lifespan and operated for much longer. Instead of lasting for 92 days, Opportunity's mission lasted for over 14 years, during which made many significant discoveries, including evidence of past liquid water on Mars. Overall, the Opportunity landing was a significant achievement for NASA, providing valuable scientific data and helping pave the way for future missions to Mars. The mission was a testament to the capabilities of robotic exploration and the potential for discovery on other planets.
Over the next few days, we're going to have a more winter-like pattern settling over the region, which is a big difference compared to the warmth we've been seeing this month. Starting on Friday, we're going to have relatively dry conditions with chilly temperatures across the region. We might have a few snow showers across the northwest regions with the lake effect, but otherwise no significant precipitation expected. On Saturday, we're going to have a weak cold front that will be beginning to move into our region, which will provide a few snow showers across the northwest and north central regions. Here in State College, we'll be staying on the drier side, but we could have a few snow showers making it into the region on Saturday afternoon, but it would not be a big impact. By Sunday, we're going to have another low pressure system move in from the west, providing mostly rain to our region here at State College. It will be a cold rain as temperatures will not be as high as expected. And over the northwest regions, we'll be having mostly snow showers because they will be on the colder side of this weather system. So starting on Friday, we'll have a high temperature of 32 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. If you're excited about the sun, don't expect much of it over the next few days with this weather pattern that we're in. And then for Saturday night, we'll have a low of 27 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. If you're heading out of town, make sure to bring your winter jackets and your winter wear because it'll be chilly. And then for Saturday, we'll have a high temperature of 37 degrees with cloudy conditions holding. And then for Saturday night, we'll remain cloudy with mostly cloudy skies and a low temperature of 30 degrees. And then for Sunday, we'll have the rain return with a high of 39. It will be a cold rain, which will be great for indoor activities. So make sure to stay inside on Sunday. And up next, we'll have Kyle Ack talking about the AMS Denver 2023 trip.
Every year, meteorologists from around the world gather to take part in the American Meteorological Society Conference, or the AMS Conference. It's been a tradition that has gone on for 103 years and counting. This January, the 2023 AMS Conference was held in Denver, Colorado. Throughout the conference, attendees discussed various scientific disciplines and sectors of meteorology, such as broadcast meteorology, hydrology, and climatology, among others. The meetings at the 2023 AMS Conference consisted of a lot of numerical research, and often, meteorology consists of very dense data, so broadcast meteorologists, for example, need to act as a bridge between what is found in textbooks and the public.
We're basically interpreters between science and public knowledge, and being able to have more and more resources to connect the two is really helpful. And also knowing how people react. That was part of what I learned, was this is how people tend to react to the data. If you put numbers in a tweet about severe weather, or if you just use interpretive phrases like hurricane force winds.
Each day of the conference, numerous meetings are held, and research and ideas are presented for collective discussion in seemingly every sector of meteorology, covering topics such as tropical cyclones, atmospheric rivers, and snowstorms. In addition, people can take the opportunity to meet with other like-minded atmospheric scientists and discuss niche areas of the field, as well as make career and even lifelong professional connections.
And in that time, I believe we had 4 or 5 derechos in about 3 years. And one of them was the August 2020 derecho that just obliterated Iowa. And so we've had that kind of severe coverage. We've had haboobs, we've had tornadoes, we've had snowstorms, ice, everything.
As important as it is for meteorologists to share new data amongst colleagues, it's also imperative to note how certain aspects of the field may transform moving forward, in particular broadcast meteorology.
Also, you have to look at what platforms you're using. Facebook has an older population and they assimilate information different than the newer gen on Twitter or Instagram, for instance. You aren't going to put a severe thunderstorm warning on Instagram because no one's there to see a severe thunderstorm warning. So being able to tiptoe around the differences between them is going to be something that I think the industry is already doing a little bit better, but it needs to do a lot more going into the future. And then that's going to help us get the word out more.
2023 was the 22nd Annual Student Conference on January 7th and 8th, which took place the weekend leading up to the main AMS conference from January 9th through the 12th. The Annual Student Conference is particularly beneficial for students looking to meet other aspiring meteorologists and atmospheric scientists. The student poster sessions are a great way for students from all over the country to network and learn new meteorological data shared in the research dozens of students present. Additionally, students are encouraged to attend the Career Resource and Graduate School Fair, where they can meet with representatives of companies in the field of meteorology and graduate school recruiters to see the abundant career and education routes they can take in the future. Both the Annual Student Conference and the AMS Annual Meeting present new ideas, career potential, and the opportunity for student and professional meteorologists alike to develop a sense of community. For Whether or Not, I'm Kyle Eck.
And now here for your extended forecast. But first, let's take a look at the weekend recap. Again, we'll have temperatures generally staying in the mid to upper 30s throughout the whole weekend with no sight of the sun. Mostly cloudy skies for Friday and Saturday. Sunday, we'll have a return of precipitation, but it won't be too kind to us as we see a pretty cold rain on Sunday. So it'll be a great day for indoor activities. Taking a look at temperatures and the weather conditions for next week, we'll have temperatures generally increase on Monday and Tuesdays with highs staying at or above average. Tuesday will be a warmest day with highs potentially reaching into the low 40s. But as we head into Wednesday or Thursday, our next weather system will move in, which will provide even colder conditions as we head into the later next work week. Some model guidance is hitting at temperatures into the low 20s as highs, but that is still a far ways out, so changes are definitely possible.
You know, I saw a lack of sunlight in the forecast, so I'm hoping that there's some break of clouds that starts to open up for the next week.
I definitely agree with that.
Now here is your Weather Whiz quiz for the week. What day will the sun set at 6 p.m.? Is it A, February 5th, B, February 21st, C, February 28th, or D, March 3rd? Now, if you guessed C, February 28th, you are correct. Now, we still have a lot of time left till that day arrives, but when it does arrive, I'll be very excited.
Me too. I was really hoping it was that February 5th option because that February 28th seems a little bit still far ways out.
I know, and February 5th is also my birthday, so I would love to see some sunlight as a birthday present.
That's great.
Well, that is all we have for you today. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week.